Welcome, Doris, founder or co-founder of Less is More, also a pioneer in biomimetic organic beauty products, if I say it correctly. You can already correct me, so I don't say it wrong the whole time.
No, you did a good job.
We're very excited to have you here. We already mentioned it to you that Less is More came on our path at the end of a long period of doing research for pure natural products. And it felt to us that we could finally take a break with researching, founding Less is More, looking at Less is More as a product, because it filled a gap, but it's also such an exceptional brand and such exceptional products. So for us, it was, wow, finally, these beauty and care products that are really pure after analyzing a lot of different brands. Good products. I'm not saying those products aren't good, but I might say a bit less qualitatively pure as we perceived Less is More. So that means that we're super excited to hear about the philosophy behind the products and the brand. So welcome.
As usual. Thank you for having me and this appreciating and lovely introduction. I'm very happy to be here today with you.
Yeah, and we usually start with the question, is Less is More a love affair with nature, just as we assumed? And already, investigating in Less is More and looking at all the descriptions, also analyzing all the products, we do have a big hunch that it comes from a love affair with nature. But we would love to ask the question and see if we're right or not. Is it a love affair with nature?
Definitely, and certainly a growing love affair. Like actually, my background, as you said, it's a biomimetic cosmetic brand. I'm coming from natural sciences. I'm a chemist. But going into chemistry, I had this idea of doing something good, like green chemistry, going into like environmental sciences, something that gives a benefit to our planet. But that was a very scientific background. But already in science, I chose this field of biomimetic chemistry, which takes nature as a model for processes and molecules, building principles, and transforms this or uses this knowledge to do greener and more sophisticated chemistry, which was so appealing to me, and not just from, a hardwired fact point of view, but also finding this beauty in nature that was also very much at the heart of myself. And once I started formulating cosmetics with herbal ingredients, botanical ingredients, I also found I have quite a strong spiritual connection with it as well.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Well, it is a very broad range. And a big part of it is related to hair care, but there's also a part of it related. So where did it start? With which product did Less is More start?
It started with the hair care. So as you mentioned, I'm the co-founder, and so there is a second co-founder, Hannes Trummer, who is a hairdresser. And when we started doing the products, he had just opened his first salon in Vienna, and he was so proud of like choosing carefully for his salon. And then I made a comment on, okay, but with the cosmetics, you still have to take what's there in industry. And then he played it back towards me and asked me if I was able to do cosmetics. And I was in fundamental research. I was just about to finish my PhD, and I had no idea of how to do it, but I was sure I could learn how to do it. And very quick, like the first product that he gave to me, he wanted me to develop was a conditioner. And that was kind of that really sparked me, because I read the ingredients list and I found like the main conditioning ingredient is something that we use in fundamental research in a different research field. But we wouldn't use exactly this ingredient because it's very toxic in wastewaters and it's not biodegradable. So it's something we wouldn't use in fundamental research because it's accumulating in our waters. It's an aquatic toxin. But then I realized it's like in every conditioner, not just the professional, but also for like end consumers.
Shops.
And I was like, what?
Oh my
and
God.
so many products that market themselves as green.
Yeah.
And I was okay, this is something that excites. You have to do something, find a better solution for that. It was really kind of the spark beginning, and we started with a hair care range of shampoos, conditioners, and styling products. Also some of the special care leave-in products that are now still like the best sellers of our line, like the Kiesel wax and tangerine curl balm. So more of it, and we really had the aim to create products that would work in a professional salon setting.
Yeah. Well, it has all these styling products, also luck, for example, and gels. And did you come across toxic ingredients, analyzing what was existing in the market even more so after the conditioner? What was that like?
Yeah.
Were you surprised?
So that was just like the first thing that I recognized. And then the more I studied into it, the more I found, I mean, the obvious things like silicones and like petrolatum, which is an oil component that is just petrochemical. And then also the synthetic fragrance compounds, the synthetic preservatives. And I learned more and more also about the negative health aspects. So that was kind of a rabbit hole.
I can imagine.
Find more and more.
And the synthetic preservatives, that's so controversial. I have had, I think Anneliese as well, tons of conversations with people about whether it is bad for your health or not. And there is not one clear answer, but a lot of, I would even assume more than 90% of the care products we came across have these typical preservatives in them. So what's your take on that? What does it relate to your philosophy behind the products to leave them out, and why, or what's your feeling around synthetic preservatives?
Well, the thing is, to me, I find it important to provide products with a good preservation. So that's one thing. I'm not a fan of this kind of unpreserved products because they can cause harm as well, like with microbiological cause problems from that side. And actually, there is natural alternatives. Of course, the reason why these aren't used or companies don't change, it's a lot of effort to reformulate. You have to do a lot of testing to make sure the preservation works. So if they have like an established system, they would stick to it. That's one thing. And the other is also the cost. Very often petrochemical synthetic compounds are just cheaper than the natural counterparts. And of course, that also plays an important part. And it was actually quite funny at that time when we started 17 years ago. Parabens like got into the focus, and people wanted formulation with parabens, and companies would go back to preservatives they had used in the 80s that were even worse, but not so well known.
Really?
Not parabens. Oh my God.
Like formaldehyde releasers, these kind of things. And we knew we didn't want to be part of that game. But it's a lot of effort in formulating and testing the products and finding systems that are really working and safe.
Because there's not a lot of knowledge with the customers about these products. You have really to dive into it, like we did, and we're already doing a couple of years, but it's not easy for consumer to they want they don't want this kind of thing on their head, on their hair, but there's something, oh, no parabens, okay, this is fine.
Yeah.
So it's not that the knowledge is missing.
And it's quite complex how to know for the end consumer. And on the other hand, you must say we have like the preservative system that we're using now, it didn't exist at that time when we started. So also in the industry of ingredients, formulators, they realized this trend of natural cosmetics, and there is more and more like innovations also making my life easier. So it also shows that customer interest in these topics are having an effect on the industry.
Yes.
It's not that it doesn't cause innovation.
Do you do your own lab testing, or do you work with a lab? Do you do your own lab testing, Doris?
We have our own laboratory where we do product development, and like when it comes to application testing, we do everything ourselves, and with like the stylists and also the cosmeticians that we work with, and we do stability testing, like how it affects like the packaging and if that is stable. But the microbiological part, if the preservation is working, we give to an external institute. And it's a certain standardized method that they're using. And we also look like, then there's always the experiences once you have a product in the market for several years, you get more and more experience, and then can improve. You can use that to improve formulations. But a lot is done in-house.
Because you're saying reformulation is not that easy, and we've also heard, each time you bring a new product to the market, it does take quite some investment in time and in money and resources. And is it an advantage with your knowledge from chemistry and the fact that you could also maybe test some things yourself, that you're more flexible in finding other formulations, because your formulations are incredibly creative and interesting?
Well, absolutely. And it starts with my own curiosity to do it. So for me, it's not something that is an effort, but I love to do that. And if I get across like new ingredients or have an idea, it's something that is just like the most fun to me. So it wouldn't make sense at all to give it to someone else. But that's the advantage here. And as you said, when I bring in, the biomimetic chemistry, it's the thing I have so much fun in looking. If like a hairdresser comes up with a new idea, they want like all the products that we have in our portfolio kind of have been wished for by professionals and consumers. And when they say, oh, it would be great to have this kind of spray or volume product. And they sometimes tell me something like a benchmark product from a conventional brand that they're using, and they love the performance. And I love to translate that. How is it working, and how do I find like the natural alternative to that?
Alternative, yes.
That's a great intellectual exercise also for me.
Great.
Yeah.
I was also curious because your products, hair care products, are really also focused on the scalp health, the health of because we focus on the healthiness of the hair, how it looks, but actually I already learned that now that it's even more important, I think, to look at the health of your scalp. Can you tell us a little bit about it? Because I don't think that is in the mainstream consciousness, how to look at that.
I mean, it's kind of obvious, like if you look at it, how the hair grows, it starts at the root, and if you don't grow a good quality of hair, you can only do so much to improve it later on. I mean, actually, what was also so intriguing in the very beginning when we started doing our own formulations, of course, we were testing everything on ourselves, and all of a sudden, I had all this short hair, and I was like, is the hair breaking, or what's happening here? And then I realized it's all baby hair, so I had more hair growing.
Okay.
Wow.
And I was just, I didn't even realize that I didn't have the amount of hair and the thickness of hair that I would like naturally have because of harsh surfactants or other additions like silicones in conditioners and stuff. So that was very okay. That's really exciting, and that's why we had that in the focus from the very beginning. And also, we had the salon as platform where we developed the product, and once customers realized what we were doing here, they were talking also about problems they had with their scalps. And they would go to dermatologists, and they would basically give them, this cortisol containing stuff, but in a petrolatum based cream, where I thought, okay, this causes
even more
the problem,
side effects as well,
and so that we like people were talking to us more and more openly, and also women talking of hair loss, which is a very
common
is very stressful, and that's why we focused
our women
on that
and our hair
is
is really a thing. Men also actually, but
it's true.
Yeah, for women it's a thing. But men also, hair is a thing.
The hair is a thing.
We all
it's such
well,
an important...
hair loss is the thing.
Is the thing. It doesn't matter, man or woman, I think. Yeah.
So I can imagine that what people struggle with is already part of inspiration, and also seeing other products and the urge to improve it. But how should I imagine the two of you sparring together? I see the two of you sitting at the salon, going like throwing ideas towards each other and say, "What if we do this? What if we do that?" How does the creative work? How does that exactly go between the two of you?
Well, in the very beginning, you can really imagine the front room was where the customers and the salon was happening. In the back room, I had my first laboratory. So that was like really, I would hand in a fresh creation, and it was, of course, the clients knew what was happening, and they were also, very supportive and excited what was going on. So that was like in the very first 2 years. And from then, of course, it got a bit more professional, and I have more people on the team also in product development. And it's kind of, we have customers all over the world that they're giving us feedback. They're giving us ideas for new products or innovation. We also checking what is on in innovation terms of new raw materials, and trying and experimenting. And as you were asking, how did we start? Like in the last years, we also included face care and body care products to the range. So it's also about actually using our expertise to provide like a full assortment for your daily care needs. And
beautiful.
Another part is also asking in that how does it work? So in the course of this path, I became a trained aromatherapist. And
wow,
that is such an important part in the product development, and it's like very interesting for me to get the feedback, like how do people react to the fragrance. And this is kind of a very, very, very emotional reaction. It's very like direct. Like if you don't like the fragrance, you see it in the face immediately. And this is something I take into consideration a lot, also with all the staff members.
So that means that the ingredients in the product is not only healing, but also the way the product smell should be part of the full experience of the product. And does that go further than just a good smell?
Is it also emotionally,
Yeah.
emotionally compounded? Because smell is emotion, actually. Yeah, you say it. If you smell, the face is telling it already. So you're also checking the box. Okay, this is the feeling with the smell. Is that how it comes together?
I mean, one part of the whole thing is, like, for me, environmentalism, and the less part doesn't mean for me to like it's not about deprivation, not at all.
Yeah.
It's the things you find in nature is so rich and is so sensual, is so beautiful, and especially the essential oils and the fragrances express that so much. And this is kind of like the entry, and it's very, very much in the focus. And then if you look at essential oils, what is so amazing and inspiring is it's not just a nice smell, but it has multiple benefits. It works on our emotions. So I do think of how is this product used. If I think of a styling product, you normally use it before you go out. So this is when I if you look at the fragrances, they are mood stimulating. They give
mood
more an
enhancers.
uplifting mood. And then there's other products that you rather use
to relax
before you go to bed, or it's more about having a relaxing effect, or products you use around the face to be more subtle and very soft and very gentle. So this is a strong consideration here.
Wow.
Well, there are a lot of variables you have to work with to make a product work, I guess. So it's looking at the ingredients, how they work together functionally, but you also have to make sure that the product is safe and non-toxic and not creating allergies. And with regards to aromatherapy, there must be a challenge there because people often say that the use of essential oils, could be for sensitive people could be difficult, could have effects with the allergens. How do you deal with that?
Yeah. Well, first of all, that was also a great learning for me. It makes a big difference if you use essential oils from conventional farming or from organic farming. So actually, a lot of allergic reactions to essential oils are not due to the natural material itself, but due to the agrochemicals that are used in conventional farming.
Oh, wow.
And these are, essential oils are produced by water, steam distillation, and some of these pesticides and herbicides are even enriched in the essential oil. So this is kind of where it gets quite, you need to be kind of knowledgeable. It's a natural product, you might think, but then it has all these byproducts. And a second thing is also if it's stored correctly. So once you oxidize an essential oil and it's not stored correctly, it can become more sensitizing. And interestingly, there has been studies conducted that a whole essential oil can be used even by people that are reacting to this so-called allergen mix, which is a mix of limonene, linalool, and so on. But the complexity of the essential oils somehow buffers the allergic potential.
Oh, wow.
So they're actually quite, you can use it also for very sensitive skin. And also there's differences. Some essential oils have more allergic potential than others. So if you use them with reasonable
amounts also
training and training in the background, you can really minimize those reactions. But it's a valid concern, and it's reflected also in the development of our pure line, which is completely fragrance free.
Yeah.
And I completely understand that for some people, or I mean, you can have allergies. It's it can be milk or gluten or cat. I don't know.
More common. Yeah.
It's more and more common.
Mm-hmm.
But then I guess you spend a lot of effort in finding the right suppliers for these essential oils, making sure that they produce them in a way where there are no pesticides or no other toxins in there, and also that they store them correctly.
Yeah, I mean, it's about certification and knowing, being as close to the farmers, producers as possible. And the second thing with oxidation can be tested. So we do thorough testing once we get the materials into our production to make sure, and we have internal procedures for that.
Yeah.
Your brand and your products are a dream to the world, Doris.
I also like that. Yeah, we are really fans. But I also like that you bring the scientific background and the more spiritual, that the aromatherapy is also the mood. It's maybe also science for you, but I find it also, it's a thin air. So I really love that you bring these two worlds in your products actually also together. So love it.
It's very inspiring. And I do wonder, which are your favorite products from your own range of products? What are your rituals and what do you use often?
So very, very simply, I like everything that comes with cleansing first. I do a lot of sports. I'm very active, and like it starts with the cleansing. I love the aloe mint volume shampoo and also the facial cleanser. It's a very important ritual to me, like from the very basis. And as we were talking scalp health before, this is something like moisturizing not just the hair, not just the face, but also the scalp. And I love the protein spray to do that.
Yeah.
And on the more caring kind of part, I love everything that goes with oils. So the body oil, the face oil, also doing massages with that is something
you do as well.
I love. I love this, in your daily care, you have to do anyways, and including some like little moments of pleasure and relaxation.
Because for you and your products, it's also about the ritual. It's not just doing it quickly. Because you stated also very beautiful in your assortment at the end. I saw that you made some rituals which you can do, combining some face care products. I said, wow, this is so beautiful to really let the people be a little bit of aware of the moment that you take care of yourself, if someone takes care of you, in a ritual way, to see it as an everyday ritual you do for yourself then also.
And it deepens like the benefit the cosmetic can have. It's not just having an effect that your hair looks more beautiful or your skin, but yourself feeling better with yourself and in your skin.
We see that trend coming up, and I'm not so sure if it's already in the mainstream awareness. But for example, with perfumes, natural perfumes that are created, they're now often created also more like aromatherapy. Like it's rollers with oil that you would put on more to ground yourself or to give yourself a certain mood instead of putting on perfume for the world out there.
So expressing something to the outer world.
It seems like care products are taking into account me time and self-care, and it's going in that direction. It feels.
I think it's also a beautiful evolution in a time where people in general have quick lives, and they want to take care of themselves. They want to clean their face or do the body oil after a bath or so. So to make that more special and more how do we call it?
Yeah, more special and helping for people to do some slow living.
And
well,
we say beauty through health, and like the benefit, you also have the benefit, like the skin is so connected to our emotions. So if we don't feel well, you can have outbreaks or eczema, whatever. Also the aging of the skin, like if you have too much tension, and the lymphatic flow is blocked, so that or it can cause hair loss if you have too much tension and stress. So this is all connected.
It's all connected. Yeah. But and when you develop products, do you also have yourself in mind? Like you develop products because you think, I would like to try that or have that in my own portfolio.
Well, for some products, definitely. Like face cream, for example. I have rather oily skin, and I don't like the feeling most face creams leave in your face. It's too much residue on the face. I never liked using it. So this was a product that was like investing myself a lot in the texture and how it feels like. So with some products, of course, there's a strong person, but with others, of course, when it comes to curly hair,
you can test that. No,
I will ask others about.
Well, I don't think there are a lot of nice face creams for men. It's hard to find. Well, at least for me, it's hard to find. And it's also because of the feeling that you just described, and because of the branding and the look of the products. They're more focused on women in general. So I can't wait to start using the less is more face cream, because I'm hoping
did realize that we have a lot of male customers for the face care. And
there you go.
That's the feedback, like not just the design, but also the texture.
That will become a bestseller for sure.
Great. Okay.
There's one last question. Well, at least I'm very curious about. I think you as well. I've read that you decided to spend your time with less is more instead of pursuing Yale University further. I think development of your academic career. You can say it like that. So you decided to go for less is more postdoc, exactly. And I wonder, is that because you found some nature's wisdom in your biomimetic approach that lured you towards that direction? Is there something that got you hooked, which I think is related to a love affair with nature? What made you take that decision?
I mean, the one thing in academics, you don't produce products. It's very academic. So you do research and you publish papers, and these papers are understood by like 100 people in the world. And like out of fundamental research, you might have some spin-offs of products later on. So that was the one thing that was more fascinating with cosmetics. It's something that is so tangible. And then I had always a connection with beautiful things like the arts and nature. And this aspect to do chemistry with something so beautiful with like fragrances, it also sparked like my own creativity. Like I always loved music and like the visual arts, but I didn't see myself as an artist because I was not talented. But with the essential oils and the plant wisdom somehow behind, I felt such a connection to this, and it just naturally sparked my creativity.
That is beautiful.
Wow. Yeah, I was diving, and that got me hooked, really.
Yeah, So instead of a postdoc, you went for aromatherapy and building an amazing brand with amazing products. So we are so happy to have you on board with Pharmature. And it has been a wonderful conversation. We can keep talking for a long time. I do still have a lot of questions, so we might ever consider doing a next podcast with you on certain specific topics, especially if we get questions in from customers. We might create a new topic to build a podcast around. That would be a blessing if you would want to do that again.
I'd be happy to do that. I'm so glad that you're having me and
absolutely
for your appreciation. What we're doing at Less is More.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you as well, Doris. And looking forward to our next conversation. Thank you.